y'all go sit here and let me put makeup on my face and I don't have any primer on? Alright, y'all, let's just get into it. So first of all, hi, my name is 𝐒𝐿𝐑𝐀𝐕𝐈𝐍𝐆. I am the owner, CEO, marketer, everything. I do everything. I started 𝐒𝐿𝐑𝐀 Cosmetics. I don't like to say out of boredom, but it was out of boredom. During the pandemic, I fell in love with TikTok. I did. I was already in love with TikTok in high school. I was 17 years old, and when the pandemic hit, I had just finished writing a play about you know, the reasons why people, you know, choose to take their lives. And it was a very hard project, and it was very near and dear to my heart. And then the pandemic happened, and we never even really got to start rehearsals. I went through a really rough patch during the pandemic. Mentally, I was just in a really rough place. And I found that after my junior prom, I was never gonna let anybody do my makeup if I knew how to do it myself. And I was going off of, oh well, it's only gonna be 2 weeks, prom is coming up, I still gotta get my dress, so I'm gonna teach myself how to do the looks that I want. And I fell in love with TikTok, and I was basically, girl, I was sticking some of my first, like my Snapchat videos and all of those other things, and then eventually I was snipping some of my TikToks that I made during that time. And I just loved makeup. I always did love makeup. Jackie Aina. Who else did I love? I love Jackie. Oma Black. Girl, I had a lot of favorites. Just watching YouTube, I loved gaming YouTube, but I loved makeup, and Jackie Aina really set the bar high for me when it came down to makeup, because I was like, if Jackie can do it, I can do it, you know. And she was never afraid to admit her story, and I just loved her, and she inspired me, and I started making YouTube. I never started making YouTube. I made TikToks, makeup TikToks. Girl, I never color corrected. Let me get to looking crazy. Basically, I fell in love with makeup, and one day I ran out of my favorite lip gloss, and I used to use this religiously. You need to understand, it was religious. And I would go to the hair store and I would buy this. I only use this one, but they didn't have the one I was using, so I went to look for something else. And then for some reason, it was the pandemic, we were bored, so I looked at the ingredients on there, and I didn't know what any of it was. Like, I was like, what? And it intrigued me, because after I used a different one than the one I was used to using, I broke out around my mouth. I had a bunch of bumps, and my skin is very sensitive to like certain stuff. So being bored in my room in the pandemic, I took my money that I had and I went and I looked up how to make my own lip gloss. I bought stuff, and it was a lot of trial and error. You know, when you're first starting with things, you're not going to be an expert at it right away. I did eventually start making my own lip gloss, and here's I'll cut in a little bit of stuff from when we first started. First ever lip gloss designs, like the first pigments, everything. And I fell in love with the idea of having my own business, because my dad owned several businesses before I even started mine. And I was like, well, if my dad can do it, if my brother can do it, because my brother is super successful. If you live out in the Dallas area and you need your car detailed, this is who you need to go with. He does great work, by the way. I'm gonna always brag on my peoples. I color corrected. I'm just so used to doing flat makeup that I forgot how to do colorful makeup. We're not even supposed to be, we're supposed to be finishing the eyebrows. See? I'm quitting YouTube. This is my first and last. And I took that leap of faith and I started my small business. The original name, oddly enough, was 𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐆 Baby Bottles. And if you see the earlier designs of our lip gloss tubes, that's why. And I was gonna have like the lip gloss with candy and all these other things, and I was like, that's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to keep restocking. So I just decided to just do the lip gloss. And you know, in hindsight, I'm glad I did, because I was trying to cater to a very specific market at the time, and I was really going based off of, this is what's selling for them, so I'm gonna follow what they're doing. And I learned very quickly on in business that if you do not, I learned later on in business that if you do not have a set niche, if you don't have a set target audience, you're going to be trying to cater to everybody and you can't please everybody. 17, 18, I was making very bad decisions. And I won't even say they were like super bad. It was just like, I didn't know any better. You know, one of those, I didn't know any better. Girl, I'm just doing my makeup and I never showed you the inspiration. So, this is an inspiration. I am going to be trying to create Brandy's Cinderella. This is her look. Okay. When I was a young girl, very, very young, my mother, I love her to bits. That's my bestie. You can't tell me nothing about Shy Pie. That's my dog. Okay, her birthday, while I'm filming this, her birthday is tomorrow. My mom always had me watching Moesha. I was on a different world. See, Dwayne and Whitley, I was going to Hillman. Okay. I was convinced I was going to go to an HBCU and I was going to find my Dwayne and all was going to be well and I was going to be happy and all these different things. Now, I got to Dillard and I'm not going to knock Dillard. I love Dillard for all Dillard was for me, but it was not Hillman. Not even in the slightest. Dillard couldn't be Hillman if he wanted to. And that's no shade. I love my H in front of my B. My B in front of my C. My C in front. Anyway, no, I love where I went to school, but it was not Hillman. College was nothing. It was nothing like it was on the television machine. Nothing. But I made college. I made the best of what I had, and I loved going to Dillard. I loved being at Dillard. I loved being on that campus. All that to say, I loved Moesha. Even when Moesha was at school, I did not like that plot line with Hakeem and Niecy. I didn't like it. But I loved Brandy. Brandy was my girl. You couldn't tell me nothing about Brandy. Okay, I loved Brandy. And I loved Whitney Houston. Oh my gosh. If you know me, I love Whitney Houston. Yeah, I loved Brandy. I loved Whitney Houston. And I loved musicals. And I just remember Brandy's Cinderella is my comfort movie. It is my comfort movie. I love, if I'm going through a rough time, if I just need a little escape. It's a musical, but it's that Cinderella, and it just made me fall in love with musicals. That is the movie that made me fall in love with musicals. That made me fall in love with music. And since I'm telling you my origin story, well, 𝐒𝐿𝐑 Cosmetics / my origin story, I thought it was important to tie it all in together. So why not do a makeup look from something that I love? So I'm gonna be referencing 2 pictures. So let's go ahead and start on the eyes. I'm gonna be going in, probably gonna build that color up, and I'm gonna deepen it with some brown. I'm gonna take my Morphe M330 and my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This palette has been with me for a long time, and it will be with me. Zero regrets over here. Okay, so we're gonna go in with this shade right here. I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, this lighter lavender color. Actually, no, I think, don't make that face. Do not make that face. If you start making faces, I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'm gonna go in with this color right here. Okay, this has a mirror, so we're gonna use this. So I'm gonna go in with that baby pink, tap some of it off, and we're gonna go in my crease. Just so ever so lightly. We're gonna place that in my crease. Okay, I'm gonna place that in the crease because she has like a cut crease slash halo eye, so I'm just gonna kind of go based off of that. So I'm gonna take that on both sides, and we're just gonna build that color up. And now that we have that foundation, we're gonna go in with this fuchsia, this one right here, this one. Trust me, I don't know what I was supposed to be talking about, because I've been jumping around. I just been rambling. I've been running your ear in. I've been talking your ear off, and you just been listening. Let's finish laying down this foundation. So then we're gonna take this color right here, that purple we were supposed to take. We're gonna take this one, and we're just gonna place that on top of the fuchsia. You see how we built it up for the purple? You see what we did? See what we did? See, we got a nice foundation for the purple to sit on. See? Yes. And we're doing this all on the same brush. All on the same brush. And it looks a little, I'm gonna flip the mirror back around because it probably looks really intense right now. I'm gonna go in with that in a second. Let's go ahead and blend this out. We're gonna go ahead and go in with my NYX Cosmetics blending brush, the number 32, and we're gonna blend out all of this pink purple mess. We're gonna blend it together. I'm just gonna take our time, and we're just gonna blend it because it's very loud. I'm gonna flip the mirror back around. It's very loud. I'm gonna just blend them together. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am from a small town in St. John Parish. You don't need to know where I'm from. It all makes a point though. But where I am, we have like sugar mills, and behind my house there's actually a very big field of sugar cane. So when I was trying to come up with a different name, because everybody was like, Lay's baby bottles is not it. It's not it, Lay. You gotta figure something else out. So I was trying to think about a different name, and thus 𝐒𝐈𝐄 Cosmetics was born. We're gonna go in with our Julia's Place, the Zulu palette, another palette. This was my first palette that I bought, a high-end palette. I say high-end. I'm tapping off a lot of that brown. I'm just going to use this brown, a little bit of brown, and we're going to deepen it in. Not all the time. This is just a tip that somebody told me, and I'm going to tell you because I was ignorant, so I don't want you to be ignorant. Go in to deepen your colors with brown, because most of the time black is going to make your colors get all muddled, and you're going to lose what you were trying to get in the process. So if you go in with brown, it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit easier. And I'm going in with like a tanner brown, so it's not going to take away from the purple that I laid the foundation for. It's going to make it look really nice. I think I got the eyes how I want them. So let's go ahead, take a little bit of my Julia's Place eyeshadow base, the white one, and I'm gonna go in with my finger like I've been the whole day, and I'm gonna start working that in at the bottom. Okay, and I'm gonna work my way around, up and around. I have a lot of lid space, so this is working in my favor. Oh, we put a lot on. Oh no. But you can't do one side that way and not the other, so you know, it's gonna be a little brighter than I wanted, but we ball. You know, mistakes happen, things go on, and you just gotta trust God and keep doing what you're doing. While that's sitting down, I'm gonna just take this the NYX blender brush, and I'm gonna go ahead with the shadow that's already on there, and I'm just gonna blend this back into what we already have. Blending that back into so it's kind of seamless, even though we're about to come and slap blue on there. Make it kind of seamless, okay? Going in with my shadow brush from Sephora. I'm going to take this color right here. It seems a little bright, but if I can work it down. So I'm going to take a little bit of, actually, I should have a white. Please hold.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I didn't find a white, but I did find my Cara Beauty palette. The Los Angeles palette, and it has the exact shade I'm looking for. So we're gonna go in with this light blue. Oh, and it has sparkles in it. Perfect. So we're gonna go ahead with this light blue with the sparkles. I'm gonna pack this brush really good. Back to 𝐒𝐑 Cosmetics. I guess I'll talk about our plans for the future. I started my business at a very young age, and I was not as knowledgeable about things like I am now. Because, you know, in all things, whether you are learning how to play the piano, becoming a track star, anything, you are going to fail. You're going to make bad decisions. You're going to mess up. And I think for me, I made a lot of mistakes because of my naive nature, because like even now I do not ask people for help, and because of that I made it a lot harder for myself to be successful in my business. I made a lot of bad decisions. I did a lot of things I probably shouldn't have. On top of just pure laziness, like I was like, oh, it's just gonna happen. All good things come, nothing good comes without hard work. And I think I don't like our eyes. I'm trying to think of a way to save them because I don't like them. Like, I don't like it at all, y'all. And I'm about to look at what it looks like on camera, and if it looks crazy. But just like in my business, you know, just like in business, sometimes you gotta start over. Sometimes you gotta rework what you got. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and even though you put in a whole bunch of work to get to where you are now, sometimes you have to rip the whole building down and rebuild it. I was having a serious talk with my boyfriend one day about my business, and I was talking to him and I was confiding in him about like everything, and I was being honest and he was being honest with me. And you know, we launched an ambassador program, and I chose some of the most wonderful ladies in my life, and they were all real cool. They were all awesome, all great women, But my boyfriend made a fair point to me, and he was like, you can't expect them to do the work. You know, you can't expect them to help make people fall in love with your brand. Like, and the people don't know you, they just know them. Like, it's your brand and they don't even know you. You know, it's your brand and you want other people. Like, the women I chose were all my good friends. Like, they all knew me personally, and because they knew me personally, they wanted to do it. And he made a good point. Like, they my girls, they know me, you know, they know my products are good because they've shopped with me before. You know, they know my products are good. Okay, I forgot to tell y'all, I'm gonna take Go Blue from this palette, and I just decided, because this is what happens. Like, I'd be like, okay, how can I save this? Because I'm really not trying to wipe all this off my eye, but if I really don't like it, I'm going to wipe it off. So I'm going to take this Go Blue from this palette, and I'm just going to put it in my outer corner. Just going to pack that in right here with my Morphe 330 again. And then I'm just going to blend that lighter color with the darker color with the blue. I'm going to see if that helps make it a little easier for a transition. You know, I kind of like it. Kind of is the key word. I might pack that I'm sorry, the 213, that's that light color I chose. I'm gonna put this right here. Yeah, okay. See, sometimes you just gotta add some stuff, you gotta take some things away, and you gotta restart. But yeah, so if you notice on our Instagram page, all of that stuff has been taken down. It has been removed. It has been archived, and I really want to go back and relaunch that program. I want to reconnect. We're still cool. We're still tight. If I really wanted to, I could hit them up right now and be like, yo, you still want to do it? And you know, I know everybody's busy. I know everybody got lives, child. I'm hoping that they'd be willing to work with me again. You know, now that I kind of have some structure. And I did, you know, I made a lot of excuses for myself, like, because I was in school, because I was a student at Dillard, because I was so active in my choir on campus. I would use that as an excuse as to why I wasn't promoting my business. I wasn't going to pop-up shops. I wasn't doing what I needed to do for me. Like, I was using it as an excuse, as a crutch, actually, to kind of like be like, well, you know, I'm always busy with class, so I have this to do, and I can't, you know. And I would always use like school, and I'd be like, I have to do school. And now that I graduated, I don't have any more excuses. Yeah, I have a job, but this was my job first. And I need to give my all, because, you know, I started this because I knew that somewhere there is a girl out there who just bought her favorite lip gloss, broke out all around her mouth, and do not know why, because she's been wearing the same lip gloss. Okay. Oh, I like it. Oh yeah, that's God. Thank you, God. I'm gonna take Big Bertha, and I'm just gonna blend all of this together right quick. I would love to start the ambassador program up again, but I have to build a relationship with y'all before other people can build a relationship with y'all, so that we can in turn all have a relationship together and be a family. We go going. You know what this is, the Ruby Kiss. Watch the first video, y'all see everything. Y'all go sit here and let me put makeup on my face and I don't have any primer on. it is what it is now. Because when it came down to this business, I took it seriously when I had the time. And when I felt like I didn't have the time, I did not do what I was supposed to. And I feel like I trusted that people were going to see me for who I was and believe me. And, you know, nowadays, that's never the case, Mom. And I'm not going to say you have to... I'm sorry, I had to turn to the light. You have to show people... You got to show people who you are, and it's got to be their decision on whether or not they believe you. You got to be unapologetically yourself and just be that and hope people believe you. And even in that, don't... Because people go believe what they want. People believe what they see. People believe what they hear more than anything. And if they think you are a no good platypus working for 𝐒𝐑𝐀 and you were their arch enemy, well, I guess you were just a panda named Kevin. I know my forehead's big. And you know, I decide instead of shrinking it down, I'm going to make it big. I want y'all to know that I know, that you know that I know, that we know together that my forehead is big and I'm not ashamed of it. And I don't know why I go so hard on my nose. Like my nose isn't the size of Squidward's. We're going to try a new product today. I am still going to go in with my Julius Lace blush. But we're going to try this Melon Moment Cheek Kiss Cream Blush from Milani. I don't know how cream products work. Do I need to blend my concealer first, y'all? We're gonna go ahead and blend. We would if we had a sponge. I don't know. I turned 22 and it's like a new level of self-awareness was unlocked. I cannot describe it. It's like, I don't know. It's just like an alarm went off in my mind and I just see things differently. That and I've been getting closer to God. I don't know. I turned 22 and I didn't even really celebrate my birthday. Some friends of mine from school threw me like a little thing at their apartment, and it was small, and it was just, you know, the people I had close to me were there. And honestly, I wasn't in the mood to celebrate my birthday this year. I just wasn't. I didn't do nothing. I didn't get a cake. My friends baked me a cake. They made me like queso dip, and it was like very small at their apartment. We're still in school at this time. We were all in school, and I don't know, I did not feel like celebrating. Let's back it up. I never celebrate myself. I never clap for myself. I never, you know, if people be like, Lay, you're so this, that, and the third, I am always downplaying myself. Always. I am always downplaying my achievements. I'm always downplaying anything that Lay does. Lay doesn't think is a big deal. And I guess when my birthday came around and I turned 22, and I treated my 22 like it wasn't a big deal, like I didn't get in a car accident the year before, like the December before I graduated. I got in a car accident and I totaled my first car that I had since I was in high school. And that was such a big deal to me because that was my first car. She was awesome. Her name was Freedom Dominic Alexander. She was the best car in the entire world. She was a Hellcat. She was a Lamborghini. She was a Ford truck. She was everything. She was my everything. And the day I got into that accident, I was destroyed. That was my car. That was my car. That was my girl. There was nothing you could tell me about freedom, baby. Like, that was my girl. We done been through so much. And, you know, I realized after, like, the party was over, and it wasn't really a party, it was just like we were chilling in the house listening to music, and that's my vibe. Like, I am not I want to go out to the club till 7 in the morning, wake up the next day, do it again type of girly. No, I want my bed, I want a book, I want to play Apex, I want to scroll on my phone and be inside and be content inside. We're gonna go ahead with this Milani. I think I got way too much of it on this brush. Oh God. Oh God. Ooh. 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 Okay, wait. Yeah. Oh girl, we got ooh. Ooh. Okay, wait. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Okay, wait. We're fine. I think we're okay. I think we made it out safe. That was really scary. Not the battery dying. I'm thinking the battery is dying. So let's wrap it.